All right. Hey, everybody. I was trying to give you guys a little enter music here, and we had a little slight malfunction. I still wanted to play this, though, so give me a minute. But type in the chat bar who you are, where you're from, maybe what time it is, where you're at. We'll get started. Let me see if I get this to play again. No go. All right, that's cool. We will not, you're just going to wonder what song that is now that I was going to play. So I'll just send it to you in my mind. What's up, Tia and Kevin? What's up, Matthew, Nolan? Nice to see you. Kathy, Mark Lund, what's happening? Jacob, Megan, what's going on? Joe Mitchell, make sure everybody do a little quick rename. If your name's not correct, just hit the 3 dots. Hit the 3 dots there. And we will see if I could play. I was going to play my little intro video, even though most of you know who I am, but I think the video just ties some pieces together for you guys. And if you don't have your camera on, do me a favor. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Those of you guys that don't have your camera on, do me a favor, tune your camera on. This is not your normal webinar that I'm doing. It is a session that was by invite only. Unlike other webinars, we might have people off camera and I'm like, hey, so be it. Like, I get it. But on this one, like, I want to be able to see you guys. So if that's cool, I see you, you see me. Let's play a little intro video and see if we get this thing to rock for you. Here we go. Boom, there we have it. It feels kind of cool, like I'm introing myself. That's super fun. Hey, that video, I hope you were able to hear it good. I was wondering the other day, I was on a training with somebody and then they were playing a video and it wasn't playing. And I was wondering why he couldn't see everybody. But what happens is when you full screen it, any of you guys that know that you're doing Zoom, you full screen it, play a video. If you bring down the chat bar, it kind of blocks things. So yeah, give me a big boom in the chat bar that you were able to hear and listen to the whole video. I also know that for some of you, hey, Monique, what's happening? Nice to see you. Mike M, what's happening? Robin, Tara, what's going on? Let me tell you how this came about, this session here. So first off, I only do things that I feel make logical sense to the world and to the timing to the world. And this time of year in November, for me, it actually starts in October, starts a massive momentum for me, okay? And, you know, when and I know we have a whole lot of really successful people on here, but, you know, when you build a $32 million company in a 10-year period, double-digit profit, 200 employees, 165 trucks, and you sell that thing out, and then you build the largest training and implementation organization in the service industry, and you sell that. I learned that when you hit October, you can't tiptoe into the next year. You have to like raise your vibration, raise your momentum. And this year is it is actually different. I was going to say it's no different. It's critically different. It's critically different. Why? It's critically different for one reason, is that we are entering into a new paradigm, right? We're coming out of this pandemic, which I think some people navigated leadership very well. And tell me if you agree, like some people, their leadership went right out the window. Talk to me in the chat bar. And just so you guys know, I'm here to talk with you, not at you. And the only way, instead of unmuting all of you and having pure chaos, the only other way that I could communicate is I need to talk, you need to respond, we'll go back and forth, and every now and then I'll unmute you guys. But watching leadership through the pandemic, I watched a whole lot of people crumble, and then I watched them use terms like pivot, all these buzzwords, like you had to pivot. And I'm like, pivot? Like, no, you pivot when you're not prepared. Can you write that down? Like, you have to pivot with lack of preparation. Like, people should have seen something was coming. We didn't know it was a pandemic. We didn't know what was going to happen, but the writing was on the wall. The cycles are on the wall. If you go to Wikipedia and look up recessions and stuff, you will see this is not the first pandemic for humans to experience. It's not the first recession. It's not the first depression. Like, these are not new things. But the reality is, you would think that if something has happened before, that it could happen again, and you should already be preparing for it. So that made me come up and say, you know what? I have a lot of people on here. And if you're on here and you're either in my Freedom Tribe world, my mastery world, my legacy world, or you've been in some other world of mine, type in what world you're in and how long you've been in my world. Because one, we have a whole group of people that have been in my world a long time. And I'm proud to say, I'm not here to brag to anybody about anything. I'm proud to say, like, the last 24 months, people that I've touched, impacted, influenced in one shape or form, over 30 of them now have become Deca millionaires. I'm super proud of that. It means they got 10 million or more in their bank account. And I always have a lot of people that are realtors and real estate and investors, but not too many of them are Deca millionaires. They want to become that. So 6 months, 4 years. Yeah, my wife gets the win, just so you know, my beautiful wife. Yeah, so we're together since we're 15. So of course she's gonna, there's no prize, babe. I'm your prize. There's nothing else there. But then I started to think, okay, I'm gonna do this leadership thing. Why don't I do it for a bunch of my clients? And then why don't I give them the opportunity to pick and choose right fit people that they think can comprehend the information that I would share at a higher level? All right. So if it's cool with you, if I stay at a higher level, can you just type in cool in the chat bar? Because a lot of people that are teaching things, they feed baby food. They're like, oh, come here, little baby. Let me give you like the most basic, like, baby food. Like, you know, the one that you like feed a kid, but you could eat yourself. I think it's like the sweet potato one was kind of okay, but the peas, I don't even know why you'd try feeding your kid the peas, right? Because that was like horrible, those things. And so we have two groups of people. We have one that's been in my world a long time, and some of you are private invite. And if you've been a private invite, welcome. I expect nothing from you here except to give you a whole bunch of knowledge about leadership. I will share an opportunity we come up. The difference about us, and when I say us, you got my beautiful wife here. We have my amazing, strong son here. We got business partner Aaron here. The reason I say that I'm going to share something, one thing to know is I'm not here to sell anybody anything. I'm not here to sell you guys anything. At this stage in our life, our career, what we've done, selling 2 companies in 5 years, I don't have to be in that role where a lot of you might have to, where I have to present, to sell, to convince, to have you move forward. At the end, I'll be sharing something. If it sounds like a cool fit, I'm honored to talk to you. If we talk and it's not a fit, I'm glad to meet you. I still love you. And if it is a fit, I'll be honored to serve you with everything in our heart and soul to serve people. And that's why we are getting the results on so many different levels. Everything from like marriages are reconnecting instead of getting divorced. People are becoming healthier instead of unhealthy. People are becoming wealthier. People that used to go to a job and hate their job are now finding their passions again. And write this note down. It's something, when it comes to my mind, I like to share it. Like, we want to create a life by design, not by default, right? A life by design, not by default. And a lot of people that are like if you're excited, like, and you have to use the words like, I'm so excited, I'm going to have a 4-day weekend. You're not living a vacation style life. You're living an average life of working a job where you have to be happy for a day off versus living the exact life you desire, where you're like, it's funny because we were just talking and I got to do some calls. I'm like, let's do them Friday. Crap, I could do some while we're cooking turkey. Like, because when you're in your life, and I'll give you a little thinking here, which all ties to leadership. When you are so in your life, you are living your connection to your soul. You don't feel the separation between the logical mind and the soul. Your soul's aligned with the logical mind. If that makes a little bit of sense and you hear something that's either impactful or got you thinking, can you guys give me big boom in the chat bar? This way I know that it's like, I hear you, I'm getting it, I can relate. If I'm not relating with you, you're also not a hostage here. So if for some reason you think the information, or you're a new guest here, you're like, I hate the information, I don't like this guy's tattoos, why has he got that big weapon in the corner and he seems really intense? I care about you, but you're not a hostage here. You're just like, hey, high five, I'm out of here. I don't vibe with that level of high energy and intensity. Okay. I like to make it known that way, because I know sometimes people could feel weird. So let's talk about this. As I started to study leadership, I used to think that leadership was a business thing, and it is partially a business thing. But what I learned was the real leadership that got the results was every other area besides the business. Let me make my point. When I wasn't leading my family the best I could, do you think if I don't lead my family the best, do you think you could lead your career and your business the best? Answer me in the chat bar. No, you can't. Like, if you can't lead your family, you're not leading a culture at work. You're not leading a community. And so what this did was when I started to figure this out, and please never make me think I'm more brilliant than I am, because I'm not. I'm just like you. I just learned a lot of different things, right? Like, I tried to grow a company. I worked at growing a family. I've done a ton of mistakes. I still do mistakes. But the difference is, once I started to focus on leadership, there's so many books out there like, Maxwell and 5 Dysfunctions of Leader. And most of these are so framed in one box that you carry it to the one box at the destruction of the others. If you can relate, type in relate, right? Like, people are leading one area, but not leading their health. And so when I started to figure this all out and said, well, wait a minute, and here's a good question for you. Here's a great question. What is the number one job of a leader? What do you think? What is the job of a leader? And I know some of my clients here might have some: inspire, okay, create other leaders, to be an example, focus, lead by. Yeah. So there's only one job of a leader, in my perspective, is to build yourself so that you are the ultimate model for others to follow. And you should write that down, because everyone else says, well, the job's to build other leaders. No. The job is to build yourself into a model, my belief, so other leaders can follow it. Because if you're trying to build other leaders thinking you don't need to build yourself, then what happens is, be transparent. We're all friends now. Have you ever tried to build a leader and they just became really shitty or crappy? Did they ever become a nightmare for you? Right? You gave them the title. You're team leader, you're director, you're manager, you're this, that, and the other thing, right? And all of a sudden you're like, man, what happened? So and just so you know, anytime that I looked and I was like, and I had 2 partners at one time, they hated when I shared this. I said, every time we look at someone and we say, they're no good, we have to turn to ourselves and say, what part of me is no good? That's hard for some people to do it. They want to blame the guy. He don't show up. He don't do this. He don't do that. I always go, well, where am I not showing up? Where am I not being good? Where am I not focused? Now, that's a different paradigm for people, because in this day and age, it's very easy to blame versus look internal. That's why I wrote the book Mind Power. And if you read the book Mind Power, type in Mind Power. If you didn't read it, put a question mark. If you read it more than once, type in more than one, so I could get a little view here. Okay. Matthew. Okay, Jeff. All right. Those of you, all right, so a whole bunch of you, more than once. Awesome. Some of you did not. Okay. So Nolan and Ekta, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Jeff, here's what I'm going to make sure of. I'm going to have you guys, and maybe Aaron, what I'll do, if you guys know how to private message, I don't want you to lose the information I'm talking about. Private message Aaron, your name, your address, and phone number. For one reason, we need it. We will ship you a book free on us. We'll take care of the shipping. We'll take care of the postage. I expect nothing in return. All I hope you do is read the book, to read the book. And those of you that have read the book, can you type in the chat bar to everybody, what would you tell them about the book if they didn't read it? And I'm okay. You could say it sucks. You could say it's amazing. You could say it's life-changing. You could say it's horrible. I'm good. Be truthful with everybody. You guys know how I roll. I don't need to sugarcoat anything. Okay, just read it. It's a game changer. Yeah, we have people actually bringing the book, not only to their family, bringing it to communities, bringing it to employees. Some people are using chapters as learning, peak performance learning for their employees, and it's changing the game. I'm not saying that because I wrote the book, because you never know how people are going to perceive it. I'm saying it based off of the results we're getting. Okay, so as we're there, and we know what leadership is, and we know that we can accept that it's not just business, let's look and do a little poll here on leadership. I'm going to test this out. I'm going to launch it in the, I launched it. We'll see where it goes. Did you guys get a poll come up or something? Aaron, did you see a poll come up?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just shrink that for now. So in the poll, take the poll and kind of rate yourself on leadership of different areas inside. Now, for some reason, I can't see the poll, so you guys will give me the results on the team. But also communicate with me. Like, if you were to use 1 to 10, so I could get a second feedback here, 10 being like, Mike, I'm the leader. And 1 being like, I am a state of chaos and confusion. So 1 to 10.
Sorry, Mike, I set up the poll to be 1 to 5.
Oh, okay.
So
Let's do
they
1
see
to 5 then.
1 to 5 or NA
Yeah.
if there's one that doesn't apply.
Okay, cool. Let's do 1 to 5 then. So 5 being incredible, amazing, game-changing. I am there. I'm the best. I feel so confident. And 1 being I'm lost, confused, and people are always mad at me and things are always breaking. Where are you on your relationship? Tell me that one. And relationship, let's break down relationship, and the poll probably doesn't have this. 1 to 5, leading your family. Type it in the chat bar. You could just put a number for me. Leading your family. And there's no, guys, we're going to be curious with each other, if that's okay. So many people want to judge. They're like, oh yeah, oh, look at this one, big old 3. No, we're just going to be curious. And you're in a safe space. You're in a safe space here. Matter of fact, this recording, if anybody missed this and wants it, I'm not sharing the recording here. I'll save it, but I'm not sharing it to the public or anything here, okay? 3, okay. So now let's do, how about our relationship or partner? How are we leading in that? Wife, husband, partner, whatever you describe it. Okay. Thank you for your honesty, everybody. Depends if you ask her. No, I'm asking you. Yeah, well, whatever you think that person's feedback is their feedback. I want to know your feedback. Like, how do you feel in that? And then what about with relationships? How about your friends? How about friends? Like people you hang out with, or maybe you watch MMA with, or maybe you talk with. Where are we at there? 3s. Okay. 4, 3s. Okay. Currently a 4, probably 2 to 3, 6 months ago. Okay. Relationship, spouse. Is that extended family? No, we'll do extended family next. How about extended family? Extended family. Why don't we do like sister-in-law, brother-in-law? Why don't we see where that's at? 2 to 3, 4, 4 to 5, 2. Okay. All right. Now, what I want you to do as I'm going through these things, I want you to be taking not only a mental note, a leadership emotional note, okay? Not to frustrate you, not to upset you, not to annoy you, just so we could get a gut perspective of, hey, What are we learning about leadership? Let's go to the next one. What about wealth? Your ability to lead wealth. Now, it's so people go like this to me. They say, oh, well, Mike, I'm wealthy in love for myself. And okay, cool. I'm glad you love yourself. You should. That's not the wealth I'm talking about. I'm talking about financial security wealth, the ability to never worry, the ability that if you need 100 grand, million, whatever, you could fix things without heartache and chaos. You could vacation because you want to. You could buy something because you choose to. That's what I'm talking about. And 5 being like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good for the next 10 generations. And 1 being like, Mike, I know this was free and I feel broke because it was free. Okay, let's see where we're at. Was 5, but over the past 3 years is now 1. Okay, thank you for your honesty. We got 3s, we got 2s. Okay, let's do the next one. How about career and work? Now, the reason I say career and work, some of you, and if you own a company, type in business owner. And if you have a career, you work for somebody, type in career. Both are perfectly fine. Okay, we got a lot of business owners, self. Okay, career. All right, so now rate yourself. 5 in your career or business. Like, I'm leading it like a machine. People are loyal, they're dedicated, like life is amazing. Or your career, I'm leading it like a monster. And 1 being like, I actually don't want to show up to my own place. I don't want to go to my job. Can't stand my boss. I don't know how to lead anything there. I feel like I'm in a constant tug of war. Where are we at? Okay. Position 5, entrepreneurial 2, need help in this area, 3 to 4. Okay. Let's do another one. How about, and tell me in the chat bar, are you getting value thinking through this? Just type in value if it's helping you like go, wait a minute. Maybe I got to think about leadership a little different than all this other stuff that people are doing. And I'm sharing you what I started to think about in leadership to change the game, right? All right, community. Community could be like your church could be your community. It could be your neighborhood, your community. It could be a peer of people that's your community. How do you rate that? Like 5, you are leading that community to greater success and value and growth. And 1 being, you know what? I'm disconnected. I watch them literally poke at each other all the time. 3, 2. And remember, I'm not saying you should or should not in any of these areas. And I also want you to consider there's no right and no wrong. There's no positive and no negative here. Okay. It's just to give a, you notice people, I think we did good in the world with KPIs. And if you don't know what KPI stands for, give me a little question mark in the chat bar. If you do, give me a boom. I'll explain it. So we got a question mark. So KPI, simple. Because I remember one time I heard this term and I felt like, I don't know what the hell that is. And I felt weird until I was like, what is it? And I found out other people didn't know. KPI is key, write it down, key performance indicator. It's a number. Like your weight is a KPI. It's a measurement that you can track against, right? And people have KPIs for, conversion and profitability. They have all these numbers, but they don't have leadership KPIs, right? They rarely will have culture KPIs. They rarely have family connection KPIs. So what happens is they have a wheel, they have a GPS system. They're navigating like, hey, detour in business, but no navigation in the other areas of their life. Okay, now what about health? How are you at leading your health? Like 5, you are focused. You are, and the way I look at it as a 5 is you're actually reversing your age. You're actually aging slower than your numerical age. And 1 being like, Mike, I just ate like, I don't even know if you could get Twinkies anymore. I guess I date myself a little bit with Twinkies, but like 1, you're like, I just finished eating a Twinkie and I shoved it in between some Doritos or something, right? We got 3.5 snowballs. Okay, I think you can still get those today, right? 5 dialed in. All right, 4. All right, these are all great things. Now let me share my screen here, and first tell me, in my world, those of you that are new, a lot of you that are not new, you know this, I'm constantly looking for that. You know what that is? That's the awakening. I'm looking for a moment where I go, I need to think more. I need to understand. I need to focus on this. So if you've had some kind of awakening already, tell me what the awakening is. Is it the KPI? Is it you're looking at leadership in a whole new way? Is it that, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I might be leading here and not leading there? What is it? Yeah, get off the Twinkies for now, Chuck, because all of you are going to be like after this looking for ice cream. And I was just telling my son about a story that after we were talking to this guy about donuts 3 decades ago, I had to end up and go get a donut. So let's forget I said Twinkies and let's go for apples or something. Okay, let's see what we got here. Need to step up in a few areas, right? It's not like you're stepping down. And the way I would look at it, Chuck, is we need to awaken in a couple areas. We need to awaken our leadership ability in a couple areas, right? I need to circle the square of leadership and maximize all aspects of life. Step up. Yes. Another level. Yeah, because so just something to think about is whatever you're not stepping up in, you have 3 things unknown you're stepping down on. Whatever you're not stepping up in, there's 3 unknowns you're stepping down on, right? So like if I'm not stepping up my health, I'm probably stepping down my relationship. Why? There's a direct correlation between health and relationship. Because if you get sick, relationship gets fatigued because someone's taking care of someone else, and there's concern steps in. If this isn't making sense, give me a big old boom in the chat bar if this is making sense for you guys. And let me go here. And those of you that don't have your camera on, would be awesome if you could turn it on, unless you're naked or in an inappropriate place. And if that's the case, you should just turn it on and off real quick so we could just leave things to our crazy imagination. Okay. All right, let's go to now. I'm going to write something out for you guys, and I want you to do it. I'm going to give you a simple form of this that we're going to do together. So draw this out with me here, okay? And I'm going to give you a simple little framework as we start going through things, so that this simple framework, you can make sure you leave with some action steps to improve yourself. The first framework is going to be as simple as, when you leave today, I want you to consider having things that you are going to start doing. Okay, I'm going to want you to have things that you're going to start doing. But if we have things that we are going to start doing, well, I bet there's going to be a few things that we are going to consider stop doing. Okay, there's going to be some things we're going to stop doing. And as we're going through and you're learning, if all of a sudden there's like, I'm going to start doing this, you put start dash and what you're going to start doing. Because as we're all together, we're more powerful learning together than learning alone. So as one of you say, well, I'm going to start doing this, and everybody type in one thing you're going to start doing so we could build the skill set. Someone else goes, oh man, you know what, Mike? I need to start doing that too. I need to start doing that too. Okay. And then if you get something you're going to stop doing, I want all of you to go in the chat bar and put stop. I'm going to stop doing this. Like stop maybe focusing only on leadership in my career and not my relationship. So I'm going to give you 1 minute here to put some starts and stops down so I know that you're keeping up with me. Okay. Mike says, read 2 chapters Yeah, a day of mind power. Awesome. Start spending more time on my financials. Yes, because you need a navigation, right? Otherwise, you think you're headed to the North Star and you found out you're not even near it. You're way off course, right? Start being around high-level thinking people. Yes, I think that's the power of this environment, right, Chuck? When you're around high-level, high-thinking, high-vibration people, you move faster, you think quicker, you create bigger. That's what I learned when I was hanging around low vibration people, not meaning negative, just people that did not want to resonate at a certain level. Well, that created, I was seeping that level, right? I was settling within that level. Stop putting myself last. Yeah, it's like planes crashing. If you don't put oxygen on you, like you can't help anyone else. All right, the next thing is there is a chance that you're going to come across things you should keep doing. Like, hey, you know what? I recognize I should keep doing this. Like I should keep showing up for training. I should invest in myself. I should hang around powerful people. I should keep doing this. I should invest my time, you know? And then there's a moment that's going to happen throughout tonight. And that moment is breakthrough, right? A breakthrough is that moment where you go, yes, wow, holy mackerel, I heard it. You connected a dot. Got it. I'm moving forward with this. Now, what I learned is if you have start, stop, keep doing, and no breakthroughs, well, this then becomes nothing more than a fun Netflix or something where you're like, I don't want tonight to be enjoyment. I want it to be transformational. Now, I don't need it to shatter your whole life and change the whole existence of the universe, but I'm hoping it shatters one little thing. Maybe consider writing this down, everybody. In order for something else to expand and grow, something else must die. Even if you look at an acorn, in order for that to grow into a tree, the shell must die. If that's true, type in true if you think that's true, right? And in order for you to expand, an old thought must go away. Now, how did I come up with that? Because I was like, when I thought I was only worthy of creating a business that was like 5 million, I couldn't go to 10 million until that thought died. Right? Until that, what we would call limiting belief or limiting thought died. It had to go away from existence or it becomes a chain inside my mind to the next level future. If you're keeping up with me, can you type keeping up? Because some of you are new, you may not be used to running at this speed that I run at, but over time, people in my world learn to run faster, quicker, and expand, you know, at a new level. So if we look at this where we have to eliminate something, then all of a sudden restrictions go away until we hit that next level. Like when you're at 100 million, then you're like, hey, what's keeping me from 500 million? Well, it's probably a thought of some kind. The last one is this action item. Okay? Action item. This is, I've been on so many trainings that people run and they leave with a really good idea, but they leave with no action items. They leave with no action items. If you don't have a breakthrough in an action item, then we weren't effective. We weren't effective at what we wanted to do here tonight. All right. Let me draw you a little diagram. And do you guys know the gap analysis? Type in gap if you know the gap diagram. I think that the gap diagram plays really, really well. But let me add maybe a little flair to it or a reminder to you for some people that may not know it. So, and if you don't know the gap, can you type in question mark? Because it helps me frame how deep I can go on this. Okay, cool. Let's do the gap. So the first part of the gap is, hey, where are we at? Where are we at? And Mark, where are we at with, and Sweat it, where are we at with ultimate clarity? Like my relationship, here's where I'm at. It's confused. It has chaos. It has separation. It has distortion. It has, it has resistance. Like I know where I'm at. Where am I at in my career? I love parts of it. I don't love other parts of it. I make money, but I'm not creating wealth. I know exactly where I'm at. You could take a stake, boom, and pop it in the ground. In order to have that where you're at, you must have clarity. You must have clarity. And along with clarity, do you know what's missing when people try to get clarity and they're not? See who could guess the word. What do you think? Nolan, what do you think? Mark? When they have clarity, but they're not, it's not really clarity. What are they missing? Alignment, close, chaos, momentum. Guys are close. Here's what they don't have. Honesty. Honesty. People you could only have clarity with honesty. It's like people are like, whenever I hear things like, I think, kind of, maybe, supposedly, those are not honesty things, right? It's like, yeah, I'm around. No, that's not honesty. What do you weigh? It's like there's a number. Stand on the scale. There's a number there, right? But once we have clarity and honesty where we're at, now we have to get real honesty where we want to go. Now, this is a big issue in relationships today, because especially relationships that are together for a long time. And how long, and only if you're comfortable. If you're in a relationship a long time, type how many years. If you're out of a relationship, like you're divorced or something, right? Out, like it's okay. Whatever happened, happened. 25 years, 23, 10. Okay. So as you're navigating over a decade in a relationship, you can start to lose clarity of where you both want to go. If that's a possibility, can you type in possibility? Is that a possibility? Like you're moving forward and a decade later, it's like possibility, like I'm going here, you're going there, we don't know. So we have to know where we want to go with clarity. We have to get real clarity here. And along the way, and I think relationship, health, all these things are great. There's going to be action steps. There's going to be action steps. I mean, the first action step of all of this is what we call alignment. Alignment. I got to get alignment. When I decided to grow gold medal service, is anybody from New Jersey on here? Because I never know. Type in New Jersey, or if any of you know gold medal. It was a service company. For those of you that don't know, we did plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drain cleaning, one-day bathroom solutions, basement waterproofing, indoor air quality. We did just about everything for a home. And when I decided that I was going to have to change and I could no longer be climbing an attic 7 days a week for 12 years, I didn't just decide to grow a company. I decided, and listen to me here, I decided to grow alignment with my wife. And I remember, because me and my person, Rob, who I was going to partner with, I said, we can't do this to the next level until we do conversations with our relationship, because if they're not aligned, it will never work. So my first step was to create alignment. Like, hey, babe, I want to now do this, and I want to go there. I want to build something bigger than anybody thinks could be built. Now, today in the service industry world, it's not impressive, but back then when I did it, it was very impressive because, one, people said there's already too many companies, they're already too big, there's already too many things. And I refused to believe it. So my wife said, yeah, I get where you want to go. And I'm like, okay, but do you get what it's going to take to get there? It's going to take a lot, like a lot of studying, a lot of learning, a lot of reading, a lot of implementation, a lot of investing. It's going to take, like, if you look at this diagram, here's the experience I learned now, not only building a huge company, but coaching thousands of people the last decade, thousands of business owners the last decade. Here's the big difference. A lot of people are willing to get to the edge, but very few are willing to jump to see if they can get to the other side because they fear, right? They fear this down here, okay? They fear the flames down here, so they never jump. But there is a moment that happens in people's lives where we call it the burning of the boats. If you know what the burning of the boats are, type in fire in the chat bar. If you don't know, give me a question mark in the chat bar. Okay, got a lot of fire. Okay, so the burning of the boats simply is this. A general, I'll give you my version of it. A general lands on an island with his troops. On the other side of the island, right? On the other side of the island, Nolan, is the enemy. In the water is all the ships from the army that got off. And the general turns around and he shoots and he burns all the boats. So Nolan, there's no boats to get on, and get out of Dodge, which now there's only two solutions, two options. Win or type it in the chat bar. Win or what? Die. Win or die. That's what we call the burning of the boats. But very few people do that because they don't have the confidence. Why? I'm going to share this with you. They don't have the confidence because what happens is underneath facing this other way. Does anybody remember what this line is called? Going the other way? Tell me if you know what this is called. Let's see if any of you. Okay, I'm thinking you don't. Retreat? No. Resistance. Resistance. It's the resistance line. As you are moving forward, there might be somebody in your life right now saying, why are you on training tonight? Someone said to me the other day, they said, I don't know, Aaron might have been on there or somebody that said, oh, people are getting Zoom fatigue. I said, no, you're shitty at delivering on Zoom. No, there's no Zoom. Zoom fatigue is the ability, is sitting there with someone who does not know how to engage you enough to keep you awake, keep you alive, keep you energized. It is called not the best skill set. It's not the best skill set. There is no Zoom fatigue. There's not. You guys, most of us have been talking on cell phones more in the last 5 years than you did in the last decade, and you don't have cell phone fatigue. You sure to heck don't have texting fatigue. You probably don't have Snapchats or Manny chats or Telegram fatigue. You don't have Facebook fatigue. You sure to heck don't have Zoom fatigue. What you do is, if you have one version of resistance of people imparting on your leadership, why are you there? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it now? Why do you need to build this? Why do you need to have that? Why do you need to fix your relationship? So the resistance is you get together with your buddy or your friend, your girlfriend. You're like, oh, I'm fighting with my husband or my wife. And they're like, kill her, get rid of her, leave. I left, look at me, I'm happy. I'm sitting here drinking myself to death. It's like, no, that's resistance. It's resistance. Now you can only move as fast as where you're at to where you want to go based on the ability to manage resistance. It took me a lot to figure this out. Might seem simplistic to you, but the question is, Mark, why didn't I jump for a decade? Why did I not jump here for a decade? Why? You know why? Resistance, mind resistance. I mean, can I do it? Am I smart enough? I mean, I think I'm smart enough. I graduated a vocational school in 1988. I mean, I graduated in electrical trades. I mean, shouldn't that make me smart enough? Or wait a minute, maybe I needed a Harvard degree to build a $32 million company. Maybe I needed an MBA in business to build a $32 million company. Maybe I needed to be born in an upper class family to build a $32 million company. Mind resistance. Mind resistance. Now, when you're on a training and you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, I want to lead here, even if you leave tonight with a sense of hope going, wait a second, if this guy that's really intense with all these tattoos, with a vocational school education that he graduated from can do that, well, then who else can do it? Type in the chat bar. Who else can do it? Everybody. You just may not be around the right people in the right environment with the right training, because there is a world full of noise. A whole lot of people telling you to do things that they don't have the experience themselves doing. They don't have the experience themselves doing, right? They don't. So they're trying to tell you, hey, you should go date your wife. No. I don't want to date my wife. You know why, Mark? Because when I dated her, I was not committed to her. You get that? I don't want to date night my wife. I want to be committed time with my wife. But the world is framing things through ability of noise, because they take one concept from one person and they try to repeat it over and over again, instead of saying to themselves, wait a minute, do we still have to talk? Do we still have to use a beeper? Now, some of you look like you're too young to understand a beeper, but if you can relate to beeper, like hold up your hand. Like, you know what a beeper is? Yeah, every time it went off, you felt like you got electrocuted, right? If you were an electrician and had a beeper, you died every day you were working on something. Like I had 1,000 deaths because every time I was on the panel, it was like, bloop, bloop. You know, that thing was like the ultimate vibrator, that thing, right? All right, let me pause there 1 minute and tell me, what are you taking away? Like, what's resonating with you? What's the breakthrough? What's the action? Talk to me and chat a little bit here. Talk to me and chat a little bit. And also, if you're getting massive value, please tell me that too, because I'm sharing with you, this is not something I delivered like multiple times. Like I just built this going back saying, what is it that I would want to know today that I need to hear? As I'm teaching you, I'm reinforcing me too, right? Like I'm not out of the game of building. Like we do equity with companies. You know, we're building multiple companies today. You know, so it's not like I retired and I'm sitting here, you know, on a couch just drooling and stuff, right? Okay, value, yes. Lots of refreshers for sure. Awesome clarity of where I want to go and remembering resistance. Yeah, massive value, remove fear, become a better leader. I know the data you're delivering, the data you're doing, yep, I teach others. But doctor, treat this on thyself. That's right. That's why, just like me, you know, we invested ourselves this year just in FuDog company. We invested over 150,000. I mean, we just invested 40,000 to do a training that's only 5 days long, right? Because I know that I can only be as good as the next pressure and resistance that I have to learn to grow past, All right. So answer this for me. Let me take this down a minute. How are leaders falling apart today? Hey, Dave Dolick, nice to see you. Hey, Dwayne, what's happening? How are leaders falling apart? Nathaniel, nice to see you. Talk to me about this. When you're looking around at leaders out of alignment. Yeah, out of alignment. Avoiding, fear. And while you're answering this, why are leaders, how do you know they're falling apart today? Right? Distractions, mindset. What is the consequence, Monique, of leaders falling apart? Tia, what's the consequence of leaders falling apart? And in what areas of their life, Jamie, is there consequences of leaders falling apart? If you have a company, what's the consequence? If you're in a relationship and your leadership's falling apart, what's the consequence? Right? Family falling apart. Bad culture, people are lost, separating, no direction or vision, integrity falling apart. And when you think of this falling apart in an area of your life, someone else's life, what is the emotional feeling you start to get from this? Do you get pressure? Do you get momentum? Do you get anger? Like, what do you get from it? Disengagement, uncertainty, and fear. Yeah. See, this is why leadership is a bigger thing than people just talk about, right? They think it's just normally, oh, it's leadership. Now, I am not a believer leaders are born. I don't believe that. I believe that leaders are built through skill set, training, and breakthroughs. Do I think some people will not reach the level of leadership they desire? Yes, if they don't have the intention to improve leadership in areas. Well, let's be 100% truthful. Everybody is leading something. Even if you're brushing your teeth, you are leading, right? Jacob, you're leading that moment of brushing your teeth. You're leading yourself to do something. Now, that may be a simple example, but it's not carrying over to the major results you desire. So let me give you 6 steps to improve leadership in your life and in anything. If you want the 6 steps, type 6 and steps in the chat bar, and we'll do this here. Type in 6 steps. Okay, let's do it. Step number 1. I actually don't. I'll have the team, Aaron, if you could type it in. Step number 1 is understanding your leadership identity. Your leadership identity. Your leadership identity is, who am I as a leader? And let's answer this in the chat bar. When you think of like, what's my identity as a leader? Is it caring? Is it aggressive? Is it forceful? If you go back before I grew a company, oh man, you would have loved my leadership, Mark. It was loud. It was aggressive, probably borderline abusive. It was like talking down to, like that's what my identity was, because I was brought up in that world of like lead by force and fear. Is anybody else from that generation at all? Like force and fear, baby. Like that's how I was taught. But then I found out that that identity was not working very well for keeping people in your life. It's not good for relationships. It sure the hell's not good for retention, right? Force and fear has a lot of areas where that leadership can push people away. Now, if you're in the right environment, right? If anybody's here from military, type in military in chat bar. If you're from military, force and fear, you're bred to live. Yeah, and everybody type in, thank you for your service. I worked with a whole lot of military people. I was not in the military, but teaching martial arts and doing it for over 3 decades and teaching combat and stuff like that. I've trained with SEAL Team 6 guys, Marines, every sect of military and law enforcement out there. And I could just tell you, like, fear and this brute force, like that's what keeps the structure together, right? It keeps the people on the momentum. But you have to first know, hang on, what is my identity today? That's step number 1. Step number 2, understanding your leadership skill sets. Your leadership skill sets. Where are they from? So tell me, where does some of your leadership skill sets come from? Like a lot come from my dad. Italian guy, big guy, loud guy. I don't think it's a surprise that I'm loud. My dad was loud. Anybody else have a loud dad? Type in dad, right? Or a loud mom. Could have a loud mom too, right? And so my question is about the skill sets here is, what skill sets do you feel you're missing in your leadership right now? What skill sets are you missing? Is it you don't understand the structure of a leader? You have not been trained about a leader. You don't understand the communication of a leader. You don't know how to build the identity of a leader. You don't know how to verbalize as a leader. You don't know how to stand as a leader. So what skill sets are missing, do you feel missing, are missing from you right now? All of the above. Thank you for your honesty. Accountability. What else? Patience, more concise communication. How about avoidance of a communication? Raise your hand if sometimes you avoid communication. Okay, that's a leadership issue that's going on there, right? It's a leadership issue. You know why you avoid communication? Because you see it as a possible confrontation, right? Communication is only confrontation with intent of confrontation. Otherwise, it's just communication. It's just communication. All right, number three, understanding your leadership is surrounding yourself around the right power leaders who lead the way you want to learn to lead. So if you want to learn how to not be aggressive, then you don't go and learn from maybe someone who is an aggressive MMA fighter. Like that might teach you how to survive the ring, but might not carry over into what you're trying to create. And how many of you want to create greater freedom, wealth, and legacy? Just type in me in the chat bar, or us if there's more, right? Freedom, wealth, and legacy. Because freedom and wealth is fun, but legacy is lasting, right? Legacy goes on and on and on. All right. So that is number three. Number four, most people, they don't have a leadership improvement plan because they don't know what to do. But the only way you can improve your leadership is you need a leadership blueprint. You have to understand where is the blocks inside of you. If you were bullied as a kid, you're either a leader that bullies or a leader that's intimidated. And be transparent. If anybody here has been bullied as a kid and you became intimidated through some of your life, type in intimidation. There's no judgments here. And how many of you could have been bullied as a kid and you're the intimidator? Be honest with me there. So look at all the intimidated, right? And then some of you probably have become the imitator, right? The aggressor in it. But you have to build a plan for that. Number five, once you have your own plan, you then, Megan, have to be able to empower other leaders around you. But if you don't have your growth plan, you can only empower people at the level that you have now. Okay. Recruiting today in the world, which is just a general term, you see people recruiting. There's only one reason why recruiting is a problem for people today. Type in the chat bar if you know the reason. You may not like my answer. Monique's dog might like my answer. The rest of you, you may not like my answer. Mindset, lazy, they suck at it. Okay. Just so you know, my feedback only from my experience of going from 2 employees to 200, and they were saying there was a problem then, is that people are attracted to strong leaders. And if you are not a strong leader, you will not attract people. You will not attract people. I did a survey. Well, I sold the service company in 2017. And I think in 2020, 3 years later, somewhere, it might have been social media or something, I said, if I started a company today, a service company, how many of you would come and work for me immediately? You would just quit where you're at and come over. And I think I got up to 100 immediate ones. 100 immediate. I'm not bragging to you. I know why. Because I fought for their livelihood every day. And that's the type of leader they wanted. They wanted a leader that would fight for their livelihood and fight alongside them, not fight against them. Same thing in your family, same thing in your health, same thing in your relationships. If that makes sense, give me a big boom in the chat bar. Give me a big boom in there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number 6, understanding your leadership in leading your legacy. Leading your legacy. Now, if you don't get an identity on the first part that we did on number 1, it's going to be hard to lead a legacy without improving your own leadership. If you need money, it's part leadership problem. It's a leadership problem. Because, and I'll tell you where I learned this, especially since I had to put out a whole lot of money for a bunch of different things. One was a lawsuit. Oh my goodness. Type in fun if you had a lawsuit. Like, I mean, but mine was started at 4 million. 4 million. We settled at $1 million. So I thought that was going to put us out of business. And when I thought it was going to put me out of business, this is a decade ago, very painful situation. I knew that I had to turn from fear into leadership focus. So I told my 2 partners, like, you focus on the lawsuit. I'm going to focus on creating an empire, which I'm pretty sure that year we grew by 6.5 million, Nolan. That's a lot in a year, 6.5 million. Most companies don't even get near 6.5 million. And we did that in a year. Why? Leadership had to step in. Fear must step aside. Skill set must move us forward. Focus on the destination at hand, right? So as you think of your own leadership, which ones of these, the identity, the skill set, the surrounding yourself with right people, the no leadership improvement plan, the empowering leaders, and leading your legacy, which one of those, Mike's like all above. I didn't even finish the question yet, Mike. I didn't even finish the question. Okay, what ones of those do you need to focus on? Empowering, skill set, all of them, all, legacy, all. Okay, hey, Kevin, nice to see you. All right, awesome. Now, let me pause here a minute, if it's okay with you guys. And then I want to tell you what I have going up. Remember what I said in the beginning. If it's a fit for you, cool. If it's not, that's cool too. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 more things that I want to share with you after it. We will finish in 25 minutes. If you're good to go for the next 25 and you're going to power up, type in power up in the chat bar, please. Type in power up. Let me show you what I got coming up here. I'm super excited about what we have coming up. Let's see where we're at here. Let me close that out. Let me close that out. Okay. All right, here we go. The first thing that we have coming up, and some of you are already set up for this. So if you're already set up, just hang out and type in the chat bar that you're already set up. In March, we have a really cool experience coming up. Now, here's the thing about March. It's in New Jersey. The team will put the dates in the chat bar, and they'll put the link too. There's only 300 seats in this building, and some people on here were already in this building. So anybody that was in this building, can you type in the chat bar, am I telling the truth? There's only 300 seats. And I think a couple were missing because they were repairing them. So like there's only 300 seats in the room. Okay. So it's not one of those like, hey, there's 1,000 and I could add. No, it's a lecture hall. Kathy knows, she was there. There's only 300 seats. We have this training coming up. It's called Change the Channel, Unlocked and Unleashed. It's a weekend of personal growth, which will take yourself and your leadership to literally quantum levels. I'll just go through some of this. It's March 18th and 19th. It's at this building, which is called Bell Works. It's a 2 million square foot facility inside New Jersey. It's a really awesome building. This is what inside the room looks like here, just so you have a little snapshot of it. Here's the speaker lineup. I'll go through those real quick. There's a video if you want to go to this page. Here's what we're going to cover there. We're going to do this magnifying glass method where we're going to really focus on like, let's get real where we're at. We have this resistance eliminator system where we're going to remove resistance from your mind, from your life, things that are holding you back. We have a vision creation process where we're going to create a vision, magnify it. And if you understand the term of manifestation, it's like a manifestation super magnet. We will go down here. We'll do an identity makeover accelerator, which we will take your identity and build an identity into an identity that can crush decades into years. Like you could do a decade's worth of work in a year with that level of identity. We have a transformation blueprint. You will leave the 2 days with a blueprint. And then we have a mind power super fuel. We will ignite you and send you out. Now, we have a whole lot, everybody, to cover in 2 days if you choose to come. Let me just show you who's going to come and hang out. We got Kevin Harrington. If you know Kevin Harrington, or I know he came and spoke to the Freedom Tribe. If he's a badass, can you type in badass in the chat bar? He's the original shark of Shark Tank. He's going to come and hang out with us. I'm super excited. The guy is built mega stuff. He's going to give us the thinking of things on how to build. I don't want marketing sales. This is not a business training. You could go anywhere. Go read my Secrets of Business Mastery book I wrote. It's got tons of business training in there. If you want business training, like in the service industry, go seek out CEO Warrior or something. If you want to know how these people thought to go from where they're at to the next level, that's what we're going to be doing. I have Mike Michalowicz. If you know Mike Michalowicz, type in a boom in the chat bar. Wrote Profit First. He's a badass. He's going to come hang out with us there. I got Mark Evans. All these guys are super great friends of mine. Guy is brilliant. He's a scalability expert. He's a real estate expert. He's going to come and hang out with us. You got me. It's okay. Don't be too excited. It's all right. You could be excited, but you don't have to. You don't have to. You do have my wife's going to hang out with us and get on stage. You should be really excited about my wife. Anybody that has been with me for over 37 years, you should be excited just to hear what the hell, how to survive something like that. I'm sure it will help you a lot. She is so brilliant. A lot of people don't even know she was running her own businesses. She had a massage business. She had flower shop businesses. And then boom, you have Aaron Hoos, master copywriter, wrote some of the top books for realtors you don't even know, scalability expert, funnel expert, marketing expert. He's going to teach you things he went through in life and how how he got out and went past the next level of it. Boom. You got my son, 23, powerhouse, mindset expert. You're going to get to hear from a perspective. How many of you have a child that's 17 to 28? Type it in me in the chat bar. Like, you probably want to learn from this generation instead of mocking this generation. So my son will hit the stage. He'll talk about that. And boom, we have our MC, Kevin Axtell, fire master, teaches fire walking, does fire events. He's going to MC both days there. So guys, I will just be as transparent as I can. I'm not selling you on anything. This is the greatest 2-day personal growth development that will ever hit the earth. And I've been to all of them. Okay. I'm building it to make impactful. You can read about Jay Abraham later. Who cares what he says? He's just the $21.7 billion man, highest paid consultant on earth. Go read it later. Who gives a shit what the LES say, right? There's a FuDog. It's risk-free. So if you decide this, there's a no worries guarantee, right? It pretty much says like, hey, if it's not exactly what you want, like, just let us know on day one. We'll refund your money. No big deal. And then there's a love and event guarantee. You could go read that. Here is the offers. I'm going to go through them really quick for you, just so you know. I always look at this. What kind of buyer are you? I'm a diamond buyer. I don't care if you buy diamond. Diamond levels here. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to read all these things. You go read it. I'll just give you the highlight. At the diamond level, we have a training coming up. And the training that's coming up is called One Life. It's 2 nights a week for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Any of you in the chat bar that attended One Life, can you type in what is One Life training like? It's a $6,500 training. Okay, you're getting it for free in the diamond level. Then we have a mind power training. I'm going to show you this because I don't want you guys, like, I know this world today is so full of like people that they say shit and it's all like marketing mumbo jumbo. I like to prove stuff out here. So let me show you something just so you know. Here's One Life, everybody. It is an incredible training. It is to create a life by design. Let me show this to you. Here's One Life training that's coming up. This is a game changer for your life. You're going to want to do it with a relationship. Here's the dates. All the info's here about it. Don't worry about the info. It's amazing. Building a life by design. Here's what I want to show you. Okay. This training, people have paid $64.97 for it. At that diamond, you're getting it for free. Okay. And let me just show you one more that you're getting for free. And there's a lot of people, just so you guys know, that have been in my world since I started FuDog and paid that. And if that's true, those that have paid that, well, don't be mad at me, those of you, but if you paid that, can you just type in paid it? So they know like it's no joke, like you did. Now we've been able to do things because after we've been able to become efficient and grow things, we've been able to help the world more. And that's part of what we want to do. In the diamond level, we're also given this training, Mind Power. This happens right in January. It's built for a reason. Design our life before the new year, supercharge it with Mind Power. Let me just go to the bottom of Mind Power so you know exactly what people paid for Mind Power. These are live. These are not recorded. Me, the team, we're going to be on massive momentum. See this? $10,000 for this training. That's what people, this is what they invested for this training, $10,000. The diamond level's giving it to you for free. So for $3,400, you're getting $20,000 worth of training. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, lunches and fucking dinners together and pictures with experts. That's all fun stuff. Do the other thing. Okay, VIP, cool. It's $864. You're going to get the One Life training. You're not getting the Mind Power training. Both of these, you could bring someone else with you, which means if you sign up for Diamond, you could do the virtual training with two of you because I want partners and husband and wives and husbands on it so we could create alignment and clarity and accountability. So if you do VIP, you're going to get the One Life training. If you decide like you just can't afford any of that, come hang out with us for 2 days. You'll get a workbook. You'll hang out. There's only 300 people. We'll change your life. And then for some of you, as I know some asked, I have calls this week. We do have trainings of different levels. We have a Freedom Tribe training. We have Mastery. We have Legacy trainings. If that's something you're interested in being a more committed program, hit me up. We could talk about it. If you just want to come and taste test, stay in an environment with us, rock it out and watch what happens over 2 days, your life's going to change and go next level. All right, enough of that said. If there's any questions, my team, do the same people need to be on all the trainings? It's a very interesting question. Nobody has asked me that. I think they should because they build on each other, but hit me up. I don't think I give a shit who you have on it, but to be upfront with you, Matt, like, they stack on each other. Like you design your life. So it's kind of like if someone came to One Life and didn't have Mind Power, their life would be ready, but not super fueled. And then like if someone came to Mind Power, but their life's in turmoil, well, then they'll have a supercharged superhuman mind with like a messed up life. And then if they came to the event, but had no framing on that, they'll be overwhelmed in my world because they haven't been in an environment that's so strong. How many of you have seen me speak in person? Type in like one word that explains what it's like when I speak in person. I'm just curious what the hell you would say. What is it like when I speak in person? Hulk. I'll take the Hulk one. Intensely focused. Yeah. So I think like whoever does it, they should do all the trainings and you're investing. And what I noticed today, which I think is smart because I did it in my companies, people are buying and investing for their employees. And that's why I believe my employees are so loyal because we invested so much money in life training, business training, mind training, and relationship training, and all those trainings that I changed my employees' lives and they were dedicated to changing mine. Let me just say that 1 second. I changed my employees' lives, their relationship with their wife, their relationship with their children, their relationship with themselves, their relationship with their health. And then they wanted me to become successful for it and me to get rewarded. So I think it's powerful. So a lot of people are investing in, and a lot of people on here, I mean, Dwayne Willard's on here. Dwayne has like invested, well, Nathaniel was on here. I don't know if Nathaniel's still here. I'd have to scan. Is Nathaniel still here? Dwayne has invested in, like, Dwayne, tell how many people have you sent through trainings, and tell like what is the result been for you to send them through trainings. And you know what? Why don't you just unmute, Dwayne? Because I don't want you to have to be like doing work and shit tonight, but why don't you just share how many people you sent and what's been the outcome for you in trainings? Oh, why I unmuted you, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, Dwayne, I think it might be on your side of things.
It's your side. You probably got to raise or click or something. Push the button.
Or it's a ventriloquism act and we have to answer.
Just smile and look sexy. All right, I'm going for Sherry. I'm going for Sherry because she is just pondering in his struggle. All right, Sherry, unmute yourself. Don't act like you have a problem too, just to mess around. She has a problem too. Okay, Jason Kirby, you unmute because maybe there's a problem here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, they're just doing an act. All right, Jason, you had your son come through training. Why don't you talk about what it's like to bring other people through training?
You know, at first I was a little reluctant, I'll be honest, to like send somebody through this because it is a lot of money and you don't know if, you know, the other person's going to be receptive to it. I wish I would have started earlier. He is changed him. He's a different person. He handles things differently. He takes initiative now. He talks to the people around him, his employees and stuff differently. We came back from Speaker Impact and Ryan got to witness the energy and power work. That changed him. He's a whole different person now. He wants more of it and stuff like that. So if anybody is thinking about bringing anybody else in here, all I can say is don't even doubt it. Just do it. It was huge. It changed a lot. It helped me grow faster too.
Yeah. And how old is Ryan?
Ryan is 25.
25. Yeah. And he so wanted to prove me wrong. If anybody was there, we did this energy exercise. He tried to break me, but then he became a believer because you can't break me. Okay, let's try. Thank you for that, Jason. Let's try Dwayne one more time here.
Try to talk.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, we can. You can put baby in the corner. That just doesn't happen. Okay. Go ahead, Dwayne or Sherry, either one of you. You guys put a whole lot of family and people through the different trainings. What happened? What's the result? Only be transparent.
Yeah, so we've had our kids involved in it, even our grandkids and some other stuff. I try to get all my employees through these classes. In fact, I think I have 5 couples go to the class in December. It's a total game changer because you know, it's one thing to be willing to grow yourself, but it's another when you start growing your team. And one thing I learned a long time ago is no matter how good you are, if you're not growing the self part, you're never going to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. So growing yourself in everything is the key to really becoming successful.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's give both of them guys a quick fist pump. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, let's finish strong. If any of you, the team will put the link. If you want to sign up for that, help yourself, go to the link. We got the Black Friday special going. The prices will change on it because we're already 20-something% full. There's only 300 seats. I would imagine next 3 or 4 weeks will just be closed out on that, which will be fine. Also, if anybody's interested in other programs we have that are more longer commitment, deeper dive, just hit up my team. The information will be put there. Say you want to have a conversation, we'll talk about it. All right, let's dig back in. Energy is a leader. Okay, write this down, everybody. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. Now, rate your energy as leadership, but let's do 10 this time. 10 being like you are a creator of energy. 1, constant fatigue. Somewhere in the middle is self-induced energy. Like you have energy when you're Red Bull, coffee, caffeine, but you're fatigued. So I don't want your induced energy, right? My energy, I don't drink caffeines, I don't drink coffees, I don't do alcohols, I don't do anything like that stuff. Why? I want superhuman energy to create superhuman results. I'm not mocking if you do, it's your life, you do what you want. Give me a number in the chat bar. Where are you on leadership energy? Okay, 8, 3, 4, 4, 5, 8, 5, 6, 8. It's so great because what some of you new people don't know, but tell me if this is true. Those of you that are in my world, the majority of you, some of you not, some I have to check on. Do you notice how the numbers are higher for people in our world than new people? Type in the chat bar. Except Monique, we got to see what's going on with your energy, girl. We're going to have to get that fixed up there. Okay. So, but do you all understand you need leadership energy to create greater results? Give me a yes in the chat bar, unless you disagree, right? You need greater energy. Okay. The next thing is rate your mind power. 10, 1, mind power 10. You own your mind. Your mind creates at will. 1, chaos, confusion, monkey brain. Where are you? Mind power 1.5. Well, that's why you're going through the training. You're listening again. 10, 7, 9, 5, 7, 3. Okay. Listen, remember, a KPI is nothing more than an indicator of a new action. Write it down, everybody. KPI is nothing more than an indicator of a new action. If you're a 9, the action is maybe you want a 10. If you're a 10, the action is maintain. If you're a 3, the action is improve. If you're a 6, the action is remove resistance. It's just a number. Remove the emotion from the number, okay? That's mind power leadership. The next thing is leading a life by design. 10, your life is by the exact design you're living it. There is no work, there is no play, it's everything and anything. And 1, you're a slave to the system. You just feel like stuck. Where are you at? 0, 7s, 1s, 8s, 3s, 2s. Okay. 3.5. That's when we're in decision. It's like, I might be a 4, but I think a 3.5. Let's just call it a 3, right? Much work to be done. Thank you for your honesty. Okay. So now let's as we're ending and we got a couple more minutes here, I would like for us to build out a couple leadership actions. I want every single one of you to leave with a minimum of 1 new action plan that you're going to execute on. And then I'll open it up if there's any random questions on leadership before we go. We got about 5 minutes. So I want you to look at your paper. Maybe it's my action plan, remove resistance, raise my energy. Action plan, remove resistance. Action plan, improve leadership in my relationship. I want 1 from everyone here. I didn't ask for nothing from anybody. The only thing I'd love is the reward back to me is to know you're leaving with something that's going to transform a part of your life. That's going to be great for our whole team here. Is going to be rewarding. Raise my energy, work on my leadership identity and style. What else we got here? Allow others to fail and build them back up with encouragement. Remove resistance, raise my health leadership. Lube up to overcome resistance. Man, this thing's moving so fast. Great job, Barry. Throttle up my financial leadership and believe in my entrepreneur like I must. Yes. Write this down, Mark. I will, I can, I must right now. That's a mantra that I've had for many, many years. I will, I can, I must right now. Just read that to yourself. Morning, noon, and night. Just be like, I will, I can, I must right now. I will take action on this. I will find money. I must find it. I can find it. When? Right now. Right now. Don't go to bed till you do it. Don't sleep till you do it. Right? So many people, I got to wake up at 6 or 5. I got to go to bed at 9. I got to eat at 12. I got to eat at don't. Break the mold of what the societal puppet strings have put telling you how you must function. It's dark. I should sleep. It's light. I should do things. Here's one thing you want to do. Lead your life to the desired legacy that you want, the freedom you want, and the wealth you want. Put an action item, boom, in the chat bar. There, I gave myself a boom for that one, okay? I gave myself a boom. All right, communication clarity, remove resistance, increase barriers, shed and outsource for free up space. Good. Work on leadership, establish a baseline, raise our energy to inspire. I will, yes, nice. Trust myself. Christina, I will, I can, I must, right now. Raise my mind power. I will snowmobile tomorrow. No, you can't, you won't, not right now, do different. I just made that shit up for you, Chuck. No, go ahead. Have fun. Hey, if you got a headset on that bitch, you're snowmobiling and you're creating wealth and legacy, man, don't get off that sucker. Don't even get off. Just snowmobile all day with that headset on, communicating, coaching, training. I'm all good with that. Joe Mitchell says, I'm with you, man. I will go with you. Okay. If you have a question, feel free to type it in. Just go or raise your hand if you know the raise the hand button. You have me for a couple minutes, hit that. If hands go up, we'll answer them. If no hands go up, we'll tie a ribbon. We'll close this out. All right, Christina, what do you have for a question? Let's let her unmute there and let's dig it in.
It was just, I love what you said at the end, which was lead yourself to the desired level of leadership, something or other. And I was nailing it and then I lost the end. So can you repeat that? Because that was powerful.
Yeah. And Aaron, did you pick that up to type in the chat bar? You want to lead yourself to the desired outcome, right? That's what you're looking for. And the desired outcome is probably freedom, wealth, and legacy. Mm-hmm. Freedom, the ability to do what you want, where you want, with who you want, without any restrictions of time and money, right? Wealth, the ability to create abundance and prosperity and live without any fear of scarcity. And legacy, you took your soul and lived your soul purpose, and it keeps living forward based on the work and the effort you did.
So I have a question. One of my dues is to raise my level in health leadership. And what I struggle with there.
Hang on. All of a sudden it decided to play. We fixed it. So tell me about the leadership health.
Is what I struggle with there is that there is so much that I must get done, and I end up going to bed late, and that affects my health. And so I'm in that space of, I don't know if it's like, how do I do it all? But I literally feel like inside I'm burning up to do all these things and I'm super psyched. And then it's like, oh yeah, I've got to go to sleep. And then I go to sleep late and then I wake up and I know that I'm not as refreshed as I could be. So how do you navigate?
So there's a couple things. It's not the what, it's the who, right? So it's not the what, it's the who can help, the who could be the resource, the who could be something else that can do something that I shouldn't be doing. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, just so you guys know, sleep's an interesting thing. Like, you could put yourself in such a deep state for an hour and it could feel like 24 hours of sleep. It's not as restful and as impactful as you want, because you're feeling incomplete. I'm guessing when you go to bed, you're feeling I still had more and I didn't finish what I needed. So it's a restless sleep versus a state of sleep where you enter a space of like healing, cleansing, growing. And your intention for sleep is through my sleep, I would like to heal. I'd like to energize. And when I do wake up, I want to feel more alive than I was yesterday. And the mind, write this down, everybody. The body follows the mind. The body follows the mind. Whatever if you tell your mind you're not sleeping enough, you won't. If you tell your mind you're getting enough, you will. If you tell your mind you can't keep up, you won't. If you tell your mind find a solution, it will. So again, go back to the resistance. If you look at the day, we just had a couple people on here. Well, definitely one of them. We had them do a time study, 15-minute increments for like 5 days. And like the whole part of the exercise is find as much resistance intuitively where you go, shouldn't have done it, wasted time, didn't get results, didn't get what I needed. And all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a second. It's not a time issue. It's how you function issue. What'd you take away from that? So I know.
The setting the intention of going to bed, healing and energized and being more alive and focusing on that. And just knowing that in doing that, whatever the hell's going on with my hormones will align themselves.
Yeah, because the body follows the mind. So instead of fighting against the hormones, embrace the hormones. Hey, body, I understand you're doing what it needs to do. Tonight through my sleep, would you help me out in balancing out my hormones, balancing out my rest, balancing out my organs, and help anything that needs to heal or change for my highest good while I sleep tonight? Thank you. Boom, go to sleep, regulate the next day, right? It's everybody has control of what they feel they can control, and everybody has no control of what they believe they cannot control, right? It's like the recession, like I can't control it. You could control your desired outcome that's going to happen to you or not. You may not be control how everyone else feels, but you can control how you feel. You could control your results. You could control your outcome. Make sense?
It does.
Boom. Chuck, you're up.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I'm not even mad at you because I did pay a lot more for those trainings, but I paid exactly what I needed to pay to get what I needed to get at the time. So my question is, are you going to open those specials up to the general public, or is that just for our guest here right now? Invite only? How is that in case I'm talking about it?
We're opening it up selectively. We will throw it out to the public for a short period of time before the Black Friday comes down. But it's opened right now here for the guest, because what's happening, Chuck, is that room only fits 300. There's no additional. So I'm giving the opportunity to people here and guests that if they want a spot there, they could take it sooner. And also if they want, like some people are like, I can't come in person, but I want One Life training. Like, oh, let me just mute you out. Tia, there you go. Little people pushing buttons there. It's okay. We got you. We got you, Tia. What happens is I told some people, Chuck, I'm like, okay, so you can't come in March. Why don't you do this? Pay $800 if you just want the One Life, or buy the other one because you're saving $16,000. And I'm not doing that again. I won't. And then what you do is if you can't come to the March, let us know and we'll allow you to gift that tickets to a right fit person to go. So you're not wasting anything. You get to do a charitable give back. So I believe we created something that's a no-brainer. The point for people here is it's going to sell out. Like look at the people we have coming and what we set up. There's only 300 seats and we're 20% full already, you know?
That was my other question, was if they wanted to do just One Life, how did that look? So thank you.
Yeah. Buy the VIP and you'll get One Life for $800 and something, which we won't ever do that again. And then when it comes closer, we'll check with them. And if they can't come to the in-person, we'll go, okay, would you like to gift it to someone that could value? And if not, do you want to gift it back to us? And we'll find a vet or somebody, or we'll find a college student, or we'll find somebody who's down on their luck and we'll take that gifted ticket and we will gift it to somebody for that ticket so that we could help change a life for it. So there's a lot of ways to give back here. Cool. Awesome. All right, Matt, you're up.
This might sound crazy, but what if you struggle with determining your desired outcome?
Yeah, people don't struggle with desired outcomes. They struggle with failure, and they struggle with making a mistake. And so the thing is, if you struggle with a desired outcome, you have to find someone. If you can't get the skill to push yourself over the edge, you got to find someone that gives you the skill to move forward. So then you could turn around and learn that skill set yourself. So it's like think, act, think, act. A lot of people, I always like to put it like a bow and arrow. Like there's two types of bow shooters, right? I'm a shooter like this: draw back, aim, I adjust my best, I shoot, second arrow, I get closer. The other guy sits there for a day and a day and a day. He's checking the wind, he's checking this. I've already hit the target 5 times by now. So it's a shoot and adjust in my world. It's like, but perfectionism, who has a little perfectionism issue? Anybody? Raise your hand. Come on. Okay, right? 80%. 80% good is better than 100% perfect, because 100% perfect is the biggest thing slowing people down from success that I've ever seen. So start to go to yourself back in time, in your mind, in life, and say to yourself, where did I take on this programming of waiting and stalling and not knowing? You were taught this. You were taught this through either punishment, pain, experience. That's the power of mind power, is the ability to go back and understand the programming of your mind. Where were you gifted things that no longer serve you, right? Like, hey, if it's like money's dirty because you picked up a coin and your mom said, go wash your hands, money's dirty. And now you carry that, but that doesn't help you today. Maybe as a kid, they thought they were helping because you're going to stick your fingers in your mouth, and maybe they thought you're going to get botulism or some shit. But today it doesn't help you. Money's not dirty. Money's not the root of all evil. Money's not dangerous. Do people do dangerous things and evil things? Yes. But that's a programming that's put on people. Make sense? Okay. All right. Read the Mind Power book, guys. Read it and then read it again, because there's no way you're processing the first time. And I promise any of you, there's a bunch of people that did Mind Power. Any of it is on here that did not do Mind Power. I hope anybody that's new in my world, let me just be transparent. We don't need your $3,000 or $800 or $400. Like we don't need that. But I will tell you, it will change your life. If you do one life Mind Power and show up, change the channel, 2023 will be unlike any year you've ever experienced. I don't care how old you are. And if not, I'll say the same thing I said the last decade. Come up and call me a liar. Call me a liar on stage. It won't happen, because I know what we've been doing and the breakthroughs we're having. We are redefining personal development in the world today. So, all right, everybody, I'm so honored. Everybody that's in our world, thank you so much. Love you guys. Anybody that's new here, I'm so honored that you came, whoever invited you. The links are there. I hope you'll come and hang out with us. I'd love to help. We're going to change 1 million lives in a decade or less in 100 countries or more. It's exactly what we're going to do. I'll play a song on your way out. Boom.